Javed Anad, senior journalist and civil rights activist, is with us for a reaction on this. Mr. Anand, what do you make of what Salman Khan said, sharing the spotlight with Narendra Modi, and he says he's a good man. The best man should be the Prime Minister. Narendra Modi is a good man, he says.
Well, I'm not surprised by what he has said now. If anything, I'm surprised by the fact that he's taken so much time to say it, considering that his father has been, Salman Khan has been kind of singing praise of Mr. Narendra Modi for almost 2 years now. So that is one. Two is it tells us something about Mr. Salman Khan's priorities, that just a few days ago he was his legs were shaking for Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav and Akhilesh Yadav.
Yes.
And now his heart is beating for Mr. Modi. In one case, the backdrop was the victims of Muzaffarnagar communal violence. In the other is the victims of the Gujarat 2002 violence. So maybe that tells us about
what kind of signal do you think it sends out? Because at the end of the day, Salman Khan is a personality, an individual with an enormous following. I mean, he's absolutely iconic in the country. His words are taken very seriously by millions of people in this country, Javed Anad.
Well, his films are taken very seriously. His fan following is very massive, but whether that also will translate into his fans following his political inclinations remains an open question. Once upon a time, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan was in the Congress party, then he was in the Samajwadi party, then he also went and shook hands with Mr. Bal Thackeray, more recently with Raj Thackeray. So I guess celebrities do that, do what they think is best for themselves. They're not thinking of others.
You know, given you just referred to Salman Khan's activities over the last few days, where he was seen shaking a leg at the Sci-Fi Festival. There's a great effort being made by politicians. Mulayam Singh Yadav isn't by any stretch a politician who doesn't have prime ministerial ambitions. He certainly does as well. Lots of politicians looking to share space with big ticket Bollywood celebrities. Perhaps looking for some kind of vicarious endorsement or cheap publicity.
Well, in the present context, rather amusing, because it looks like Mr. Salman Khan is making sure that he doesn't put all his eggs in one basket. So on the one hand, he's got Mulayam Singh Yadav. I mean, he obviously must think well of Mr. Yadav, the father and the son, the Yadavs. For him to have gone there in the context and the backdrop that he went for that kind of a festival. And the same can be said of his visit to Ahmedabad and the statement pro Mr. Modi.
Thanks, Javed Anand, for speaking the headlines today.